So I'm gonna say it again, I do not have a coming out story, okay? My mother found out that I was a lesbian by going through my things, and then she spread my business throughout the entire family. She cried to my uncle, who was the pastor or apostle, and then he spread my business throughout the entire church. And I didn't even know that she told everyone at first. Like, I thought I had everyone fooled until I started realizing the treatment that I was getting. Like, I was gay bashed on Mother's Day. We had Mother's Day at church or whatever, and he literally preached about gays, like, and how it's a sin and how it's bad and everything. It was so surreal and so bizarre. The way that my grandmother acted and like how like people tried to console me, it's like they knew I was mad, because I really was. I was heated, but it was like, you know, you really, it's really hard to say anything to these people. There's no other gay people that we know of in this whole family. So therefore, we get the treatment and it's kind of blatant right in your face. So I've been mentioning the treatment that I received from my family in my music for years now. Like, I have a song called Open for Suggestions, right? I made this song 7 years ago. It was on my first mixtape, and it was like really my first time ever really venting and letting the information out about my family. And it's definitely hard to try to get like your life situation in one verse. I definitely didn't push this song. I definitely wasn't trying to perform this song. It kind of was a way for me to just vent. But a lot of people liked it. A lot of people felt it. And a lot of people just didn't know that information until I like rapped about it in that song. So first I'm going to go ahead and let the verse play and let you just hear it. I'm going to put the lyrics up on the side of it. And then after that, I'm going to go ahead and just explain in depth what the lyrics mean. Look, I speak with my hands like the pastor that don't believe in me. I teach with command like my living grandparent I barely see. Her husband is the deacon and so is she. And ironically, her brother is the preacher who I was previously speaking of. I speak with my hands like the pastor that don't believe in me. My uncle is the pastor. And I speak with my hands like him, how he speaks at the podium, you know. And I teach with command like the living grandparent I barely see. My dad's mom is my only living grandparent. My mother's mom died the year before I was born. She never met her father. My dad's dad died when I was about 5 or 6. So my living grandparent is the deacon of the church. We only saw them unless we came to church and holidays. Thinking of the love that I receive on a day-to-day, comparing it to the love I only receive on holidays. So I'm thinking about how my family, who I only see on holidays and if I go to church, it's always, I love you so much, I love you, kisses, kisses. But it really was never that true support. And comparing it to the love that I receive every single day. My friends, I would see them every day. They seemed more supportive. They didn't necessarily tell me they loved me, at least not as much as my family did, but yet I felt the love from them. Open for your suggestions and soaking in sin and question. Only God can judge, but yet his followers give acceptance. I'm open for your suggestions because I'm soaking in the sin, that I'm drowning in the sin that they said that I'm in. I was taught that only God can judge me and that only God will judge me on Judgment Day. Yet I'm being judged every single day by the people that taught me that. Such a loophole, right? It's very confusing. Blessed and highly favored. Most blessings are deaded favors and payback's a motherfucker and mothers are the creators. Every single time someone blessed me with something or they told me it was a blessing, I always felt like I owed them something in return and or I can't ask them for any more favors because I've used them all up. Which kind of just built this kind of like subconscious paranoia that I never talk about. It's just that I'm just like, no, it's okay. I'm more of a giver than a receiver. Daddy prays to the east, her mother's Christianity. As far as homosexuality, 2 kids out of the 3. I just realized that the dryer is probably making noise throughout this whole video. Hold on, let me try to quiet this. Okay, hopefully I don't have a lot of editing to do, or hopefully I don't have to redo this video because of the sound of the dryer. I still kind of hear it. I'm gonna just close this door real quick. All right, let's get back to it. Her daddy prays to the east, her mother's Christianity. As far as homosexuality, 2 kids out of the 3, so would you call it irony? Or do you think we're playing hide and seek? My dad's a Muslim, my mother is a Christian. It's very interesting too because my mom is only a Christian because while my dad was in jail, he told us to go to his family's church to get to know them, so we basically became Christians. Meanwhile, he got out of jail and became a Muslim. This was 7 years ago, remember that. So I learned a lot in between and a lot has changed since then. As far as homosexuality, 2 kids out of the 3, so would you call it irony? It's ironic because we know both of your religions do not accept homosexuality, yet 2 out of your 3 kids became lesbians. My dad has 3 kids. He has my older sister, me, and my little sister. My mom has 3 kids. She has me as her oldest, my little sister, and then my baby sister. Would you call it irony? Or do you think we're playing hide and seek? Do you think that it's ironic? Or do you think that we're just playing some type of game with you? Because clearly it's not something that we would choose to do if we know that you would not accept it. So come and find me in the hole where you buried me. Left me there for failure. And since I chose a different route, I guess I'm a rebellion. I ain't robbing purses or felling out moving work. When I need your help, you just bribe me with coming to church service. Find me in the hole where you buried me and left me there for failure. I feel like I've taken on all of their karma. Like, I went through so much with the law for so many years. I mean, I've been in and out of jail and I'm not a felon. And it happened for so long, and I blame my dad for that because he was in jail for 19 years in federal prison, and we used to go visit him faithfully. Kentucky, Pennsylvania, Milan, Michigan, everywhere. So our name's been in the system. And because I used to get in so much trouble for no reason, I put so much money into the courts, and I feel like it was his karma I collected. My mother, she definitely has a negative tongue. Definitely spoke a lot of negativity into existence, and I've seen it firsthand. She's definitely dug a hole for me and left me there for failure because she set me up for failure so many times. It's quite sad how many times my mother has set me up for failure. So since I chose a different route, I guess I'm a rebellion, meaning since I won't conform and do the things that they want me to do. I honestly kind of believe that both my parents just weren't ready to be parents. All of us were mistakes. They weren't planning to have kids and planning on a future for us or anything like that. They're more selfish than anything. If you ask me, I ain't robbing purses or felling out moving work. When I need your help, you just bribe me with coming to church service. I ain't perfect. Been dressing the same since elementary. But when it started getting deep, that's when they started dressing me. So basically, if I asked my family for help, they'd always say, you got to come to church, come to church, come to church. They used to want me to rap for church, sing and dance and all of that, and I never would. And so that kind of put a bad taste in their mouth. Like, I did it when I was a kid, but then as I got older, I started to back up from that. Because out of my own personal, no one was telling me to do that. Literally me in my mindset was like, this isn't for me. Out and seeing my family speak in tongues, and they've never been able to speak any other language ever. They started dressing me when they seen that I wasn't dating a lot of guys, and my mom started slowly throwing away all of my clothes. And so because they started throwing away my clothes and started getting in my business a little bit more, I really started getting fake boyfriends and bringing them over and bringing them around and making it seem like this was my friend and this is my boyfriend. Kicked out of groups because I'm a cancer to this team. Definitely been kicked out of groups because I've been deemed as cancerous. And I'm saying that as in they think that I'm going to turn other people gay. It's happened numerous times in different situations where they thought that because I'm so good looking, I'm going to turn more people gay. So you can't be a part of this group. Right.